I'm Gary Meyers and welcome to Racing Historic V. We are back racing with the Formula Vee Association of New South Wales, and this video is race 2 of a 3-race meeting from November 2020. I will link race 1 in the description, which gives you an idea what a full race looks like, but for this video I'll just cover lap 1 and then multiple changes of position between Steve and I. You also understand what it's like to be lapped by a pack of current spec Formula Vee1600s. I hope you enjoyed the video and please hit the subscribe button. Lights are on and they're off. We go through the gears, first, second, third and fourth. Steve gets a better jump on me again, and Bernie in the 1200 comes down on the inside. I go wide behind Steve. Bernie covers me, leaving the inside open, and I take Bernie on the inside and get behind Steve. Steve's doing a good job of staying with the other 1200s, and maybe if I can catch up to him we can stay in together. Coming into turns 4 and 5. This is flat out and we don't live through this section, just hold fourth. We scrub off speed due to the fact we're turning. Up a little hill here. And coming up to turn 6, touch the apex on the inside and try and stay with Steve. Put it back into fourth. Take turn 7 and 4th and head down the hill towards the hairpin. Change down to 3rd. Try and keep it smooth around this corner, which I didn't do that time, and then I ran a bit wide. Back up the hill towards turn 9 and 10. Try and stay with Steve for the downhill run on the straight. So that was a lap of Sydney Motorsport Park. Now let's jump ahead to lap 2. Here we are at turns 9 and 10 again. A bit closer to Steve coming onto the straight. And in typical Formula Vee style, get in behind him, slipstream, pick up the toe, and then hopefully pass him further down the straight. And that was one of the first of many passing moves. Lap 3, we're back where we were before. 9 and 10. The difference is, I'm in front of Steve this time, and exactly the reverse. Steve will pick up my slipstream, get my toe, and he makes a move down the outside, moves across on me, and I pick up his slipstream this time. I'll stay as close as I can, pull out a slipstream, and there's a nice gap on the inside, so I'll retake Steve on turn 2. Now it's lap 4, turns 9 and 10 again. This time I'm out in front, coming onto the straight, Steve's behind. And you've probably guessed what's about to happen. Steve went the inside this time, and I slip in behind him around turn 1, which is flat out. And coming up to turn 2, Steve covers the inside, so I'll make a move on the outside. Not an easy move to make, and I come out of turn 2 behind Steve. And now we're at lap 5. And guess where we are? Top of the circuit again, coming onto the straight. I'm behind Steve. By this stage you know exactly what's going to happen. I'm in behind him, and I'm looking for that slipstream to pass. Okay, it didn't happen this time. Now we're at lap 6, different part of the circuit. Coming around turn 6, third gear. Change to 4th on turn 7, and coming down towards the hairpin. Bit of a gap on the inside, which I take, and overtake Steve on the inside. You guessed it, we're coming onto the straight again. Steve's right behind me, and we know what he's planning, but there's really not a lot we can do given the fact that the aerodynamics of my car are not great, and I leave a huge hole behind that Steve can just slip in and pass. I move in behind Steve and I look for the opportunity at turn 2. And I take Steve. Now we move to lap 7. We're at the hairpin, turn 8. I run very wide and Steve gets a great run on the hairpin. So we're coming up to turn 9. Steve makes a great move on the outside. But we're at the top of the straight again on turn 10. And we know what that means. This time I didn't get the timing right, should have stayed behind a little longer. But I'll slip in behind Steve and see what can happen at turn 2. No opportunity to pass there, I'm a little bit too far back and Steve has it covered. So we're at lap 8. Turn 6, we're in third gear. Into 4th and around turn 7, that's Corporate Hill, and down the hill towards the hairpin again. Gonna make a move on the inside on turn 8. I have to lift a little bit in the corner. I run very wide and Steve has a great run. But if you have a look at the reverse camera, look what's coming. The blue flags are waving, letting us know we're about to be lapped. I run a little wide, giving some room for the 1600s, and hop in behind Steve. Now all you do is just hang on and wait for the bunch to go past. You can really see the speed difference. At this point you may notice Steve isn't running quite as well as he was before and he starts to slow up a little bit. I take the inside and pass him again, and that is how we finish the race. I stayed ahead of Steve for the next 2 laps, but there was a reason. As you can see in this slow-mo, Steve's car is not running well. There's fuel and flame coming out of that exhaust pipe. It's backfiring. And obviously you can make an easy run on him given it wasn't running well. So that was a great race. So many position changes between Steve and I. And it's great to race along a driver you can really trust. I really hope you enjoyed this video. The next video is race 3, which is under lights at Sydney Motorsport Park. If you'd like to support the channel, please press the subscribe button, like, write a comment or share it with your friends.